greetings. These are the questions that we had in our previous lesson as our exercise. So let's try to revise. So before we get into solving these integers, we need to remember these rules that we talked about, and these are the rules that we talked about. So we said that negative multiplied by negative, this will give us a positive answer. We also talked of negative multiplied by positive, which will give us a negative answer. Okay, rather than this, we also said that negative divide negative, this will give us a positive answer. A positive answer. And the last one, it's negative divide positive, this will give us a negative answer. Okay, so these are the rules that we talked of. So for you to clearly understand integers, you also need to consider these 4 rules that we talked of. Okay, we also said that when you're dealing with the different sign, you subtract different sign, you subtract, and then you get the sign from a bigger number. So always remember this: different sign, you subtract, and you get the sign from a bigger number. Okay, so we proceed. So of negative 4 plus 9, negative 4 plus 9. So if you see here, we have two sign of a negative sign and a positive sign. So we said that when you're dealing with numbers with different sign, you subtract and get the sign from a bigger number. So in this case, 9 is bigger, isn't it? So since we have different sign, we're going to do negative 9 minus 4. 9 minus 4, that will give us 5. Okay, that will give us 5. So I'm going to write our 5 here, and don't forget that we get the sign from a bigger number. So here, the bigger number, it's 9. So our answer will carry a positive sign. Okay, so we don't show the positive sign, because if we write it like this, it already means that this is a positive value. This is a positive value. Okay, so we proceed to question 2, and question 2, it's 7 minus 10. So if you see 7 here, 7 is a positive integer. It has a positive, we just don't show it. So always remember, when you're dealing with different sign, you subtract. So here we're going to subtract 7 minus 10. Okay, 7 minus 10, you count. Okay, this will give you 3. So you're going to write your 3 and get the sign from a bigger number. So in this case, 10 is the sign, it's the number, it's the biggest number in between these two. So it means that our answer will carry a negative sign. Our answer will carry a negative sign, because this bigger number has a sign of negative. Okay, so we now proceed to our question 3, which is negative 3 multiplied by negative 4. So if you remember well on the rules of integers, we said that negative multiplied by negative, this will give us a positive. So here we have 2 negatives, so this means that negative times negative. So just know that your answer will be in positive form. So just do 3 multiplied by 4. This will give you 12, isn't it? So we are going to have 12. So we knew that our answer will carry a positive sign because of this 2 multiplied sign. Okay, so after this, you proceed to question 4, and question 4, it's like this: negative 12 divide 3, okay, is equals to, we don't know. So on the rules of integers under division, we said that when you're dividing negative divide positive, it will give you a negative answer. So here, just know that your answer will carry a negative, so we can even put the negative here. Okay, then 12 divided 3, 12, the reason I've put positive here, it's because these 3 are positive. So remember, if there is a positive, we don't show it. Okay, so 12 divided 3, this is 4. You just count. Okay, so we are just going to count 1, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, then you do 1 2 3. Okay, as usual, 1 2 3, as usual, 1 2 3, as usual, 1 2 3. Then you count it. How many threes are here? 1 2 3 4. There are 4, right? So our answer here, it's 4. Then the last question that we had, it's negative 2 divide negative 2. So negative divide negative, this will lead to a positive answer. So just know that here we're going to have a positive value. So 2 divides 2, you also do the same. 1 2, isn't it? Then you do 1 2. So how many 2's do you have? It's 1. So we have 1 here. So these were the answers, and a lot of you have gotten this correct. Keep it up. Continue with that kind of spirit. You will go far. Okay, now let's proceed to our today's lesson. So these were the revisions that we had. Okay, so have you ever said like it's about 10 minutes instead of 9 minutes 32 seconds? There are some times where you just guess, where you just approximate something, instead of saying the exact value, you just approximate. Okay, for example, maybe it's 9:58. We can say that it's almost 10. Okay, it's about 10 minutes. Okay, or 10 hours. So that's where approximation comes in. So we've got approximation. Approximation. Okay, and that's where approximation comes in. So what is approximation? We cannot understand approximation without us understanding what approximation itself is. So what is it? Approximation. So approximation means giving a number that is close to the real value but not the exact. Giving the number that is close to the real value but not exact. So we can write this. So I've said that approximation is simply the giving a number that is close to the real value but not exact. So we have said that giving a number that is close to the real value but not exact. Okay, so this value can be, okay, the number can be close to the real value but it cannot be the exact time. I said of maybe the time it's 9 hours 58 minutes. We can approximate this as 10 hours, isn't it? We can approximate this as 10 hours. And when it's maybe 9:40, we can approximate it as 9 hours, just like that. Okay, so we've got the first activity 1. Activity 1. So let's try to approximate this. So of 9.8, we also have so this is the exact value, we also have another one, 102. So let's approximate this. Okay, let's try to approximate this. Okay, so 9.8, if you see this 9.8, it's close to 10, right? It's close to 10, then it is close to 9. So we can approximate this as 10. So this can be approximated as 10. Okay, and this 102 is close to this 102. It can be it can be approximated to 100. Okay, it's because it's near 100 than it is to 110. Okay, if you see the difference between 102 and 100, it's just a 2, so it's near to 100 than it is to 110, so it can be approximated as 100. It can be approximated as 100. Okay, so what is the importance of this approximation we're learning about? So approximation is important because it helps us to make calculation faster and easy. It helps us to make calculation faster and easy. So for example, you're doing 9.8 plus 2. That would be a little bit difficult to you than 10 plus 2. Okay, so approximation just helps us to it makes our calculations easy, so that they don't get complicated for last. Okay, so where do we use approximation in new life? Okay, so we use approximation in new life in many different ways. The first way we use approximation is in distance. Okay, is in distance. The second one is time, and the last one is money. Okay, so these are the ways in which we can use approximation. So for example, in distance, you have heard a person saying that it's about 5 kilometers away. It's about 5 kilometers away. About 5 kilometers away. So this means that it's not 5 kilometers away, but it's about. So it can be 4.8 kilometers, or it can be 5.4 kilometers. Okay, so it's not exactly 5 kilometers, but it's near to 5 kilometers. It can exceed 5 kilometers just a little. It can be below 5 kilometers just a little. Okay, and in time, you have heard of a person saying that wait for about 10 minutes. Wait for about 10 minutes. So this means that you can wait for 9 minutes or more than 10 minutes, but not reaching to 15 minutes. You can reach maybe 11 minutes, 12, and 13, but not exactly 10 minutes. So this means that you can't wait for exact 10 minutes, but about. So it's near 10 minutes. It can be 8 minutes, 9 minutes, or 9 minutes 32 seconds or 58 seconds. Okay, and in money, we use approximation in this situation. Okay, where they will tell you that this costs, maybe it costs 9, especially in ShopRite. Okay, 9.80 ngwe. Okay, it costs 19.80 ngwe, 19.80 ngwe. So this can be approximated to 20 kwacha. This is 20 kwacha. So this is common in ShopRite, where you find maybe a good worth 10 kwacha or 9 kwacha point 90 ngwe, 9 kwacha point 90 ngwe. So this is 10 kwacha. Just know that this is 10 kwacha. I'm sure you have experienced that before. Okay, so this is where we use approximation. So this is how approximation makes calculations quick and simple. So under approximation, there is what we refer to as rounding numbers, rounding off numbers. So we've got this. rounding off numbers. Okay, rounding off numbers. So rounding off numbers, it's guided by two principles. Okay, it's guided by two principles, or it's controlled by two principles. So make sure you know these principles. So the first one is this one, which says, so this is the first, and this says that if the number is 5, okay, so we can write if the, okay, so this stands for number. If the number is 5 or more, so if the number is 5 or more, round it up. Okay, so whenever the number is 5 or more, round it up. Okay, and the last one is if it is 4 or less, round it down. So if it is 4 or less, round it down. So just remember this to my arrows up. When the number is 5 or greater, just remember the up arrow, which means round up. And if it's less than or equal to 4, just know that I should round down. I should round it down. So for example, we've got these two examples. Okay. Example number 1, we've got 23, we've got 27, we've got 25. So let's round this to nearest tens. Let's round this to nearest tens. So we're now rounding off to nearest tens. Okay, so if we round 23 to the nearest tens, remember we said that if the number is less than less than or equal to 4, we round down. So this 23, if you see this 3, is it greater than 5, or is it greater than 4? No, it's less than it's less than 4. It's less than 4. So we're going to round down, and this will give us 20. This will give us 20. Okay, we come here on 27. Is this 7 greater than is this 7 greater than 5? Yes, it is. So we are going to round off to the nearest tens, and this will give us 30 to the nearest tens. Will give us 30 to the nearest tens. Okay, so if you see here 25, so this 25, it's greater than 5, isn't it? This 5, we talk of this 5. So here where it said if the number is 5 or more, round up. Okay, round up. So we're going to round up 25, and it will give us 30 or so. According to the 10th, it give us 30. Okay, so as on your X, on your own, try to round off these 2. So I have 32. Round off to the nearest tens. Round off to the nearest tens. Even 98, you should round it to the nearest tens. Round it off to the nearest tens. And the other one, it's 21. Round it off to the nearest tens. Round it off to the nearest 10. So do this on your own, and try to submit the answers to me. Make sure that you do this. Make sure that you do this. So this is how you round off your answers. This is how you round off your answers. Okay, on this 98, okay, this 98 can be rounded off to the nearest hundreds. Okay, to the nearest 100, not 10. So if you see this 8 is greater than 5, so we're going to round it to to round up. So since this is 98, it's going to become 100. It will be 100. So make sure that you do this. Okay, so I'm going to add another one. So we've done this round of 47 to the nearest 10, round of 37 to the nearest 10, and 83 to the nearest 10. So you should round off this 32 to the nearest 10, 98 to the nearest 10, 21 to the nearest 10, 47 to the nearest 10, and 83 to the nearest 10. So make sure that you do this. So kindly comment, subscribe, and like.